Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Masks Monday. People have stopped being sick / on holiday, or both. We are up to session 48 of Mass of Nyarlathotep, and we are getting into the climax of China. So we will see how many people have survived by the end. But we shall see. In the meantime, however, let us introduce most of the players, since unfortunately Phil's character passed away by walking into a shoggoth last time. Let us start off with Liu Zhao, please.
Yes, indeed. My new character after Pranet passed away is called Liu Zhao. He is a bounty hunter staying in Shanghai, Chinese, of course, that managed to befriend, maybe, we don't know yet, Jackson Elias for a little while. So, as part of the Green Gang members that joined the new China army, decided to embark on this adventure with these amazing people, and still doesn't really know what he's got into, even though he had the first taste of eldritch shit coming his way.
Indeed. And he's about to get more, I'm sure. That we've also got another new player, I guess, or new character, Andrew McNairn.
Yes, I am Andrew McNairn. I am a minister for the church, part of that nice little section of a church that investigates cults and other nasties and deals with them. You're absolutely right that we are reaching the climax of China. This is due to the fact that one side or the other is about to get right royally screwed. But I've got a feeling it's going to be us. But we're going to go in there anyway.
We shall see. We also have Miss Jones.
Oh, hello. I've just realised I'm now once more the longest surviving
I was
character.
just about to say myself, yes.
things have reset back to normal again. That didn't take long.
Oh god. Okay, and finally we have Phil to do a recap before we get his new character in. So take it away, Phil.
Okay, good evening. So we started last session at Ho Fang's mansion. We went straight into a combat where is it Liu and I were faced with two alligator type people, and this great big black mass was rising out of this pool in the middle of the courtyard. So after a short fight, Parry was actually smothered by this big black mass. Which then actually started popping eyes all over its body. And then Liu managed to get a good shot off with a shotgun, which gave it a little bit of pause for thought. That's when Lin's men, Madame Lin's men jumped in and started to fight it as well, helping out a little bit, throwing axes around. And while we were in the courtyard doing this, shooting and dying, Andrew was trying to open a door in the secret room. A very troublesome door, very difficult to open. Finally managed to do it, and was confronted by a very strange glass coffin contraption that seemed to be divided into 7 sections with rats at one end. And meanwhile, Annie was actually having a very nice evening, being wined and dined. Partway through, the discussion changed a little bit to occult books and the knowledge that Madame Lin had, and Annie was actually shown a library of a big collection of occult books. Annie is successful in the conversation to encourage Madame Lin to over to our side. But then she actually came on, felt very, very sick. She had a feeling that her winged friends were being injured somewhere reasonably close. So she summoned some other ones and flew off to battle towards Ho Fang's mansion. Then the fight continued in the courtyard with more gunfire. Back in the secret room, Andrew managed to open a teak cabinet and narrowly avoided disaster. As the cabinet was trapped, he sprung a needle that narrowly missed his hand, and inside he discovered 6 Western-style books and some scrolls. As Liu was out in the courtyard firing at this big what we found it to be a shoggoth with his shotgun, Annie arrives, diving from the skies, firing her pistol as the Becky plunged down towards the courtyard. And between them, they managed to do enough damage that this big monster thing split open, and you saw Perry's remains in amongst the mess that was left in the courtyard. Annie actually had a little bit of a turn then. It took on some very Becky like mannerisms for the rest of the evening. We collected the team collected the books, and Andrew and Liu reported back to the New China Army. Annie went off to the hotel and started to sort through the books. But then you decided to take them to Madame Lin to get some help in translating them. And you had Gods of the Black Fan, commentaries on the Relay text, Tale of Priest Quan, Livre d'Avon, I think, a book in English called True Magic, and a book in Latin, which was the Necronomicon. And then there were several scrolls in actually Chinese. So Annie gets Madame Lin to actually help us translate these books. And she, while visiting the house for the second time that evening, Annie is informed that it's Madame Liu, not Madame Lin. Madame Liu actually has the captain of the Dark Mistress is being held in the house. So Annie goes to see him and touches his skin. It feels very, very strange. But then Annie proceeds to question him in a very particular way. And this is where things take a fairly dark turn. She ends up flaying him for over a couple of hours. And is only stopped really when Liu and Andrew turn up looking for her. And as Annie realizes what's happened this evening, there's a slight pause in proceedings as the realization of Perry's death sort of hits her, and sort of 3 seconds later she moves on. She's gone a little bit far with the interrogation. The prisoner was actually dead, probably because he refused the chamomile tea. But you actually have obtained a key to Ho Fang's boat, which is called the Luxurious Goddess. While you're deciding what to do, one of the translations turns up. It relates to many appearances by the Bloated Lady in history, and like a prophecy of what is possibly to come.
Indeed, and that was from the Chinese scrolls.
Yes.
The other things, which I've all put in the drive now, are yet to be looked at / read if you want to do anything like that beforehand. However, so for everyone bar Phil, of course, you get your improvement rolls for luck, and Phil, you get the D10 anyway for the recap. But you don't get the improvement since your character has not survived to this session. But then
No improvement.
You've got like 65 luck or something there, so it's pretty decent. Buonasera, Matteo.
Buonasera, Matteo.
He's been very
Mate.
patiently waiting for this episode, or the next couple, I guess, depending on how long it lasts. But yes, it is the calm before the storm, I suppose.
The shitstorm, you mean?
Well, shitstorm, yeah, if you want to put it like that. But we are into about, let's say, mid-morning to midday, Sunday, the 10th of May. So really, this first bit is kind of down to you and your plans. As I was kind of insinuating before we started, I'm assuming there's not really much else you want to do before heading to the island. But in terms of how you want to approach the subject, shall we say, it is up to you now to plan. Pranit anyway did inform Isoge, so you assume that stuff is in motion with that, although you've not heard anything back from him or anything. You've obviously got the New China Army. You've got Liu from the Green Gang. As another possibility if you want to get more of them in, maybe.
Yes.
And you've got all these books and various potential little snippets of clues.
Yeah.
You're still
all
muted, Becky, if you're talking.
I was just questioning what clues we've got.
Well, there
mean,
was a
there's an
little bit. Well, yeah, but there was a little bit insinuated in the scrolls about some prophecy and some great bird will fly.
Oh, yeah, right.
Okay. I'll have to deal with the, bring the Air Force to help, but I doubt it's going to be enough to deal with something large. We'll need...
need bodies on the ground, which means we need
Yes.
boats. We also need local knowledge. Maybe some of the fishermen, if they know about that island, will know about any spots to land on that island apart from the obvious, because cultists are going to be watching the obvious. We need to land on a blind side.
Also, if it's true that your friend Brennet informed the Japanese Navy, we could use that as decoy.
That could be useful, yeah.
But still, we don't know whether he did, and if the plan followed through. We don't know that.
Well, I think you should talk to your friends at the Green Gang, see if you can get some more. We've got the New China Army. We've got Madam Lin to help. So why don't I go to, or Andrew perhaps? I don't know if they know you though, Andrew. The Japanese Navy. Go and talk to them. So I could go talk to the Japanese Navy because I have at least met them before.
Yeah.
And then Andrew could talk to the local fishermen.
Yes.
And then we'll all meet up this afternoon and sail over overnight and hit them at night. How does that sound?
That sounds good, but as they already told us from the New China Army, I don't believe they're willing to give more men from the Green Gang, as they are asking for favors in return.
Oh, promise them the world will be gone or dead.
It's if they do hit with that, just remind them that if the cult succeeds, there's not going to be much left of Shanghai for them to actually have favors for.
Yeah, and we could give him a wad of Ho Fang's cash. Here, he had like 5 different currencies, right? And I only spent one of them. So I grab one of the currencies and throw them at Liu. I mean, there's a bucket ton of some currency there. It's quite a lot of money.
Thank you very much.
That's for men.
Oh.
If you can't get them from the Green Gang with that, then go into the pubs and buy some. And weapons.
And don't come on with some men to spare their life, to sacrifice their lives for something they don't know about.
Oh, well, look, make up a bogeyman. We already have one, right? Ho Fang has declared war on the city.
Yep.
He's coming for your wife. He's stopped killing prostitutes and started killing wives. And if you don't stand up and fight, you're going to lose them. Something like that. Make it up. It's fine. Just come back with more men. You got a load of money there. That should do it. There'll be enough. You're a mercenary yourself, right? You must know other mercenaries. Right, we've got Ho Fang's boat. I think the New China Army had some boats of their own as well, didn't they? So
they did, yes.
We need more.
I don't know if we do. We've got quite a lot.
Yes.
Have we searched Ho Fang's boat?
No, you've not actually found it yet.
Right. Oh, we need to do that as a matter of urgency then.
Chumin comes to you and asks basically what your plan is, gets the gist of you want to do a bit more information gathering. And he says, I am tempted to run at least a small reconnaissance, perhaps it is better when we are in close proximity to the island. I want to send some scouts in, see what is going on there at the moment, especially if more people are there than before.
Well, the only potential issue with that is, of course, the loss of surprise when we're already committed, and the
Yes,
fact
I
that
know.
we're splitting our own forces up against their full force.
I know. There, of course, there are possibly, and he kind of gets the map again. There are possibly more places to land on the island, but there is only one way into the lagoon. It is some sort of reef with quite a small entrance, so we'll be bottlenecked if we take in tons and tons of ships. So if we are to do that, we need to do it carefully.
I would also say I think the reconnaissance is a good idea because, yes, I fully agree that we should have the element of surprise. What I don't like the idea of is us landing there and us being surprised.
I have
Because we
been
have no idea of what we're actually walking into.
I have
If
been
you
speaking to Moo about this as well. Whilst we don't know facts, we are under the impression that there could be more of those creatures that you found at the mansion, possibly something even bigger or stronger. And I don't think heavy artillery or lots of gunfire is going to help in as much as we would like.
well, get a Lewis gun.
We have machine guns, we have mortars, we can take those. But in a way, I understand what he's saying. If they know that we're there from loud explosions, then they could send all sorts of things at us, and we have no idea what they are.
Yes, we need to make sure when we attack at the right place. I do agree with that. My issue is you can't hide a large body of men right next door to the person you're about to attack.
No, we're not going to send everybody in at once. Obviously, I was hoping to do small commando units,
send a small scouting party.
small scouting party, and then people are split into groups.
Would hit them hard and fast, but okay.
As I say, the idea of hitting them hard and fast is a good one. I think that's fine. I think it's great. We should do that. The only thing I'm worried about is we walk onto that island and we realize that our surprise isn't anywhere near as big as theirs.
I thought the Japanese were going to go in hard and fast first.
Well, we have tried to arrange that, but we have no idea yet if they have actually been. We think they
Then
have.
you will need to find out, because I do not want to speak to them, and they will not want to speak to me either.
Yes, so we'll try and make contact with them today. Meanwhile, we need to try and find Ho Fang's boat. Could you send some men around all the waterfronts to see if they can find it?
Yes.
So when I get back later, perhaps a few of us can go and have a look. So I'll go and talk to the Japanese guy now, and I'll turn and walk off and leave the rest of you there.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm leaving to talk with
The Green Gang.
members of the Green Gang, hopefully to get some more men.
And Andrew, you want to talk to fishermen about maybe like different bits of the island that they might know about, or knowledge of the island?
Well, what I'm hoping is that, I mean, there will be the obvious places where boats can get in on the island where people can land. I have a feeling that the cultists will have those places watched. What we want is the safe but not so obvious places that we can land our troops, our
Okay.
ragtag band, because otherwise it's just going to be a fucking rat shit straight away. It's going to be rats in a barrel, or no, rats in a boat.
I would highly recommend taking a look anyway at the map. I am going to be using it later as well, and like drawing right to help you with positioning and stuff. But yes, so all right, so I'll do that bit first. So yeah, you
Where
head
is the
and
map?
there's the one on the Miro board, which is what I'm going to be annotating later. I think I sent through just the play map on the messenger chat as well somewhere. I can send it through again if you
Yes,
need
please.
it. Okay. Um, okay, there you go. Have some blueprints. Okay. Do you know any Chinese, Andrew? Or Shanghainese?
No.
I assume because there is still Annie. Would you still have your Highling comprador?
We
To help
haven't
with
needed
translations?
him for a bit, and we have checked out of our hotel now.
Very true.
So, but we could probably go back and pick him up for the day because assumedly he got paid well by someone.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, I'm happy then, as long as Annie points Andrew in the right direction as to where the hotel is and who to ask
Go to
for.
this
et cetera,
hotel
et cetera.
and ask for translator man, Mr. Ni Hao.
Wow.
I've forgotten his name.
Mr. Ni Hao. My God.
Me too, but even so. God, what's he called? Num, 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 num. Li Wencheng.
Oh, come on. That was so easy to remember.
Mr. Li. That's beneath you. Okay. So it takes a little bit of time, but yes, he does show up. And he's obviously happy to help with any translation or what have you. And yeah, you head down onto, I presume, the main sort of harbors on the Wangpu River.
Yes.
Give me a luck roll, please, Andrew.
Ooh! I have succeeded.
Okay. It takes a little bit of time, but you do manage to find a couple of people before dark as well, who say that they have traversed around Okinawa, and the islands which you know or have been filled on are the closest to this set of uncharted waters. And they say that, yeah, basically they do know of an island of sorts, but no one has claimed it. And on every Chinese map, it's just simply marked as uncharted waters. They've never been there personally, but they have seen strange glows, quite loud noises as well. They can hear across the water. Also, they tell you that originally it was a volcano or a volcanic site.
Right.
Although it hasn't erupted in quite some time.
But none of them have went near enough to see any landing.
No. They reiterate again that you kind of have to go into a lagoon in order to see anywhere to land. But there's no way they would go anywhere near it, especially given what they've seen from Okinawa.
That reconnaissance is now essential.
Oh, that lagoon on this drawing then isn't a separate island. That's somewhere within the main one, is it? Is that a cutout?
No. So the lagoon is the larger area, if you will. So you'll see it's Great Dragon Island is the sort of small blob.
Oh,
The bottom right hand one is the
Got
larger
it.
scale. Yeah.
got it. Right. Yeah. Sorry, there is a scale on this map, but only one.
That dotted line.
Yeah.
There's apparently two maps on there. Through me.
Although it does look like there is gaps to the south in the wall there.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm not there, am I? Sorry.
Yeah, it is small.
Once, I mean, what?
I mean, a small boat could fit there.
A lot. I mean, we're not too bad. What we really need now is recon, because we need to see where their boats are moored, because we cannot moor ourselves where they are. We need to find other places to disembark.
One thing we could do without getting that much closer, depending on the setting of it all, is to harbor at the outer land of this lagoon, and then have a look with some sort of binoculars towards the island to see if we can see something without getting that much closer. But we have no idea of the distances and such, or height, or whatever.
I think recon is now
fishermen-
essential.
Yeah, the fishermen say that from Okinawa they couldn't see landing points, but they could see, kind of light glowing near the top of, the highest point on the island and things like that. So you think, you could probably take cover behind this reef, although maybe not super large boats or ones with high masts, but certainly in a rowboat, you think that would be possible. What is Becky suggesting?
No, I'm merely highlighting.
Yeah, in the day, yeah.
No, of course, he's just complaining about our problem solving. Saying we are doing everything wrong, as always.
Of course.
Could have done this in 20 sessions if I was by myself.
Oh my god.
I say it again, that humility just shining through.
Mm-hmm. Oh dear me.
Love it.
Okay, so let's move over to Liu.
Yes.
For a minute. You head off presumably to. Actually, how do you do this? Do you find your superior, or do you try and rally people together in the Green Gang? What do you do?
Well, since I still like my fingers attached to my hands, I'd rather get to the headquarters first, ask the head of the gang, and if that doesn't follow through, I'm asking some trust people, as long as you can trust a criminal or a mercenary.
Okay. In that case, you ask for Big-Eared Du, as he's called, or Du Yuesheng, who is the new successor of the Green Gang. As well, at this point in time, the gang has a close relationship with the nationalist KMT party, Kuomintang. So they are all about sort of keeping the nationalism and so on in China. So yeah, you're I guess more like hauled in to his quarters rather than shown in.
Yeah, of course.
And he eventually turns round in this big sort of swivel armchair. He's got a big cigar.
A cat resting on his lap.
Not quite the cat. But he certainly has a big cigar. He says, "Oh, Mr. Liu, isn't it?"
You're most correct. Thank you for receiving me.
What is it that I need to receive?
A request for help.
Is this Mr. Mu that's telling you, Mr. Min even, that's telling you about this? Chu Min? That is where you were sent off?
Not directly. I mean, you sent me along with the New China Army members in order to do stuff, but since I joined their forces, I was made aware that something way more dark is menacing our control on Shanghai. Allegedly, these people are gathering in an island nearby, almost much closer to Japan than they are to China. But thing is, they are building something on that island that is really threatening all of us. And
Threatening how? What could possibly threaten our incredibly steadfast gang? We have so much control now over the city. We can do what we like with the Japanese who are on an island somewhere.
we won't really be able to do that anymore. You see, Ho Fang, of course, is managing his business, but apparently his hands are also onto something else, way more beyond my understanding. But we raided his house, and I really don't want to face what I faced there.
This is getting a bit convoluted, Mr. Liu. Can you get on with it, please? And you see him strumming his fingers on the table, making a bit of a point.
Thing is, we need to eat hard and eat fast. I don't know exactly what they're doing on that island, but we need to put an end to it. Otherwise, there will be no more Shanghai, nothing more to control.
How do I know this isn't just Japanese propaganda that's gone through your ears?
You're insulting me, saying that I'm keen with that nonsense. Do I really look like a Japanese enthusiast?
Give me either a persuade roll or an intimidate. I'll allow that as well.
Let's see what's better. Not persuade. What the fuck? No social skills whatsoever. Lucky me. I'm going with an intimidate.
Okay.
No. No.
Do you want to push?
What happens if I do? Oh no, I can't spend luck. No, I'm not pushing. No.
Okay. No, you can't spend luck on a push roll.
Yeah, I just got the base
Save.
15, so
If you did, then he would at least throw you out and refuse to carry on the conversation.
not doing that.
He raises an eyebrow and says, "Your story makes no sense. Why would Ho Fang be a threat to me? Yes, he
Not-
is a man of business. Yes, he does lots of drug trade and so on, which we are, of course, very heavily involved in. There is nothing wrong with that.
No, I'm not saying that. What scares me the most is that he's in affair with some British people.
Now you're talking British people.
Yeah.
So first we have our businessman Ho Fang, then we have the Japanese, and now we have the British.
Yeah, it's...
Who else is involved?
It's a
The
shit
Buddha?
show. I'm sorry?
I said,
didn't
who else
get-
is involved? The Buddha?
I really hope not. But
So what
I
are they
mean,
all doing? What is the point of all this skullduggery going on behind my back?
they may sound a little bit like oh fuck, how did you call that? Radio drama. Is that a thing? I'm genuinely asking. I don't recall what they're called. Radio romances. That's the literal translation
I know
from
what you mean. I
Italian.
can't remember the exact name either.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know what you mean.
May look something like this, but may sound something like this, but apparently they are willing to build something so powerful, maybe a weapon. I don't know. As I told you, I've been with the New China Army for way too little to know exact details, but they are tending to, at the very least, this area, to control this area 100%. Total area domination, maybe world domination as far as I'm concerned.
I'm not convinced to give any of my colleagues up, but if you want to convince them yourselves, go ahead. Having said that, you seem to know more about this than I do. How long have you known this information and not come to me about it?
Not that much as was mainly about last night. I've had confirmations about this last night. Before that, it was just talking, just talk, but no proof. I'm sorry I couldn't bring you anything, but I saw things I'm not apparently able to portray rightly to you.
Well, maybe the new China Army's superior officer can tell me a little more. Can you bring him to me?
I will try my best.
I'm not going to hurt him if that's what you think. Unless he decides to keep more secrets from me.
As long as you are more convincing than I am, you should have no troubles.
Oh, I'm sure I will be. But yes, bring him to me, please.
Will do.
And he just kind of ushers you out with these fat fingers.
Fuck this guy. But still, he asks something, so I'm going back to the new China army.
Is Liu starting to rethink his life choices?
Yeah. Should have stick with the rice farming.
Annie, so you are trying to find Isoge. Is there any particular place you're going to look for him?
Yes, that bar. That's where he said.
Something like a bar. Okay.
Yeah.
So you get there, and there's not actually that many people in there. What's he called? McChum is there, and he recognizes you.
Hello.
Yes, hello.
Has Isuke been in?
No, he hasn't actually.
Oh.
Not for a couple of days, at least.
Yes. That's either excellent news or terrible news.
Would
Do you know where he's staying?
I never know where he's staying. He always moves around, I'm afraid.
Where's the
And even
Japanese
then he would,
embassy?
Oh, that's a good point. Is there a Japanese embassy in China? I'm assuming there is. Let's have a look. See. In fact, no, I will find it better in the Companion. No luck in there so far. Might be on a map, actually. I don't remember seeing it though on the map anywhere. Yeah, so we've got a British consulate, we've got a French one, we've got an American one.
1872, the Consulate General of Japan in Shanghai opened in 1872, according to Google. So there's one in there somewhere.
Yeah, it's definitely not mentioned on the map, which is bizarre.
Japanese ships became a more constant presence in the Shanghai harbour
Yeah.
in the 1870s and 1880s.
Yeah, I was just about to say. And there's even a bit that's technically known as Little Japan as well.
So yeah, there's a consulate general.
Okay, in that case, I'll say that you do find the building of the consulate general.
Some Japanese follow the Shanghai Dream, where they spend several years in Shanghai to gain professional experience or knowledge of Mandarin Chinese, and either continue working in Shanghai or return to Japan later. There you go. The Shanghai Dream.
Yes.
Yes, so I'll turn up at the consulate general's house, I assume, then, or something. Although I think they do have a consulate building
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
that's
they
what it
would
was
do,
saying.
yeah.
Yeah, 1872. It said so. I'll probably actually go there. So yeah, I'll turn up there, and I'm at the reception. And say, I need to speak to Isuge, Admiral Isuge.
They look blankly at you. He is not here. I do not know who you mean, but if you want, you can see the general if he is available.
Good. Make it quick, please.
So they kind of gingerly poke their head in, and he just sort of comes out, grunts at you slightly.
Hello. I need to see or speak to Isuge.
Isuge is not here. Why have you come here to see him?
Because he was not at the place I normally meet him.
Would you like to come into my office?
Certainly. I take off my shoes.
Good, good. How do you know Isuge?
He is, well, he's your naval intelligence officer. I've been working with him.
Working with him how?
Regarding the secret weapon.
Oh.
I am one of his contacts.
Do the British know about this weapon?
I doubt it.
So why would you work alone with him?
I don't work alone.
Then who do you work with?
Isuge. I need to speak to him.
He is not here.
When is he back? I need to speak to him today.
He will not be back today. He has gone to rendezvous with the special ops on Taiwan before we...
Grey Dragon Island.
Yes.
I need to know when he's going to arrive at Grey Dragon Island. It is very important. Lives are at stake. Lives of my team. That is why I
persuade roll,
must...
please.
Oh, balls. No, it's not an impossible chance. Come on.
Uh-oh, everyone's
Oh.
lagging.
It is a pass. Hello? GM.
He said that we were all lagging, but
Oh my god.
He did.
Yeah,
you just
he's-
freeze.
So laggy. You were literally going...
No, it's just you.
No,
just you, mate.
You froze.
No, my connection been bouncy. You're gonna have to repeat that, Annie.
I'm not rolling that again. That was a pass.
Oh, okay. All right, a pass. Okay, so he basically suggests that we telegram. So he's happy for you to come and watch him. He telegrams to the Special Ops Unit on Taiwan, or rather headquarters on Taiwan, to ask for when the estimated departure is to the island. Sends it off and says, and now we wait.
Good. I pull up a chair in his office and sit down on it.
Would you like some green tea, ma'am?
I've heard it's quite the ceremony in Japan.
It is, yes.
Well, I guess we have a couple of hours.
He looks quite pleased that you're happy to do a full tea ceremony, and he kind of gives the impression he's not really had chance to do it for a while either. So in that case, he shouts out to somebody down the hallway in Japanese, and they kind of, you hear some clanking in another room of teapots and things. Okay, and you wait. So So Andrew, I suppose you make your way back to the warehouse
Yes.
after your thing. Yeah, okay.
Mhm.
And you obviously you do as well for other quite different reasons. So yeah, I guess the two of you get back about 5 o'clock.
Okay. Enter. I bring them up to speed that
Yep.
fishermen have seen a lot of lights, heard a lot of noise, but because of
Mhm.
that, no one's went near the place.
I'm not surprised.
Nowhere close. So we're still no wiser as to whether there's any blind spots we could land on. I think that recon is now essential.
Very well.
And I'm saying that I really thought that being a long-serving member of the Green Gang would suffice with my intentions for acquiring fresh meat to bring to the island, but apparently that's not enough. And the man himself wants to talk with Mr. Min. How the fuck is it called? I don't recall.
Mr. Min.
Min.
I
Yes.
get mixed up with Mr. Min as well. Mr. Min. What does he want to talk to me about?
Maybe I believe he wants to double check what I just told him, so that Ho Fang is in business with some British men, and then what he's doing is threatening the whole of Shanghai, all of the area, and maybe the world. I didn't know in how much detail I could have gone without him thinking that I'm a nutcase.
Yes.
Given how little I'm told and I saw.
It depends if he interpreted that as a handful of people who happen to be British or people representing the British. It's quite different. But fine, I will speak to him. And I will remind him of our agreement.
Thank you very much, and I'm sorry I failed you.
He just grunts at you, murmurs something in Chinese under his breath, and heads on out with a couple of others.
I speak Chinese, though. Did you talk shit?
Not like really profane, but just kind of like, oh, Jesus Christ, we're fucking.
Okay.
Not
That's
specifically at you, but yeah, just like exclamations. Okay. So while Annie is busy with her tea ceremony, the two of you have a little bit of time to kill, at least before Chu Min gets back. Whether that means going straight to the island or not is up to you. But is there anything you want to do in the meantime while you've got this calmness?
Well, I mean,
Hit the books.
yeah, the books, as long as they are not all at Madame Lil, but only the scrolls. She has only the scrolls. Is that right?
She's only translated the scrolls. Technically, Annie did basically give her all the books to file and sort out, etc., etc. But I'm happy. Again, it'll take a bit of time, but I'm happy for either a couple of books to be delivered to you or for you to go to her place. And obviously, she understands that you might need to read them.
I don't believe she will receive us, though.
Yeah, I'm thinking books on delivery.
Books on delivery. Okay.
Yeah. Also because we are ugly as sin, according to her.
We don't have the charm that Annie has, so I don't think we would have as much fun as she has.
Okay. Cool. So I'm just having a look in the bit of light reading. So yeah, the books that you can request or at least read. There's a commentaries on the relay text, which is in English. True Magic, which is in English. Tale of Priest Quan, which is in Chinese. The original Livre Divan, which is in French, and the Necronomicon in Latin.
I'm taking the Chinese one.
I'll take
Okay,
the two
Since I
English
think I'll be
ones.
the only one able to actually read it.
Okay, absolutely fine.
I'm Church of Scotland. I don't do Latin.
Yeah. I know. Okay, very well. So yeah, you request those 3 books. So could you give me? It'll be 2 English rolls technically, since it's 2 books, and a Chinese roll for Andrew and Liu, respectively.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Book 1. Ouch. That's a
I'm
a
spending
fail.
12 luck
Okay.
to make it a hard pass. Chinese.
Not my best. I failed on the first book,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't have enough luck to actually get it down. Or, well, I've got enough luck, but I would be left with something like 10, which means if we're looking at a group luck roll, we're all screwed.
Yeah.
And I just made the second one.
Just made the second one. Okay. All right, let's deal with that one first. So, True Magic. It is by an author called Theophilus Wen, dated 17th century. It looks like it's been recently rebound as well. These sort of red Chinese silks bound together. Interestingly, the silks themselves, the bindings, actually depict various strange symbols and creatures, you think. But yes, essentially what you get from this book on a skim read is it's concerned with the nature and habits of what scholars of the period perceived as demonic creatures. You think as well there's quite a lot of, obviously archaic, but still possibly relevant, protective charms, and maybe other incantations as well to possibly inconvenience the author's rivals. And also you notice a couple of mentions of different schools of magic, so black magic, white magic,
Okay.
So yeah, you think there are various charms and possible incantations in there, but of course they will take time to learn. Having said that, you gain 2 mythos points from your skim read, and it is still quite a disturbing read. You lose 4 sanity from that.
For fuck's sake.
Yeah, these books in China do not fuck around with sanity loss. So basically, it'll take you, even though you're obviously not going through a bout of madness, it'll take you some time to maybe recover and be fully alert again from that. You get these kind of flashes of sort of folklore tales that you might know of, maybe Scottish folklore tales and things sort of drifting around your mind, and myths and legends and things.
I have my temporary insanity ticked. Must have been from.
That will have stopped by now.
Thank you for that.
I think it was only like 1 or 2 that you rolled, so it was very, very brief.
So I was going to say that the temporary insanity and that.
Well, I mean, even then, you would have technically been underlying insane. Although I think that's down to keeper discretion, so I would have been happy by this point for you to come out of that as well.
Okay.
But still, you're definitely on edge. As for t'other book, where even is it? Tales of Priest Guan. The author is actually unknown with this one, as is the date. It is a scroll woodblock printed on mulberry on hemp and rag paper. And it's got this lovely sort of bamboo, hollowed out piece of bamboo that it's stored in. It's in classical Chinese, so it does take you a bit longer to read. But essentially, it talks about a priest of the Order of the Bloated Woman and how they overcame and humbled a powerful noble. There are also incantations in this book. You get the impression that they're mostly in kind of poetic form, or at least that was how they were written down. And also there's some accompanied annotations as well that kind of elaborate a bit more on these. So yeah, it's quite a graphic account as well of the different rituals of the order, and how these incantations may be involved in such a thing. So you get 1 mythos point from this book.
Mhm.
Again, there are definitely spells in here. Oh, and you lose 2 sanity points, so not too phased. You notice actually there's quite a distinct sort of running theme of Egyptian, like ancient Egyptian stuff in here. So maybe that's why it's not really linked to you or your culture specifically. So it's a bit easier for you to cope with what you're reading.
All right. Well, I
Okay.
don't believe we got enough time to try and learn something
Well, it depends.
before Annie comes back at the very least.
Well, meanwhile, as the sun starts to darken in the normal way, not the not the ecliptical kind of way or anything, you do get an answer from the headquarters on Taiwan. They say that they are going to head to the island in no later than 3 days.
Thank you. You have saved many lives. And I'll do a
He gives you a bow.
curtsy.
You can't help but stifle a little giggle at that, but he knows what you mean.
And get my shoes back on and head back to the thing. I'm delaying the mission.
I am desperate for the toilet, but feel free to talk amongst yourselves for a second.
Why don't we just take the break? It's midway through. Giorgio's rolling a
Yeah.
cigarette.
Yes, okay, that's very true. Yeah, okay. All right, fine. Break.
Okay.
See you in 5.
Hello. Hello, hello.
Hello.
Well, I was going to get Phil in quite quickly, but then you all decided to do extra planning.
We have no idea who his character is.
No, you're okay. It's quite interesting just watching.
Listening. Watching and listening.
Yeah,
Well, I would have done it this way.
getting tips on how it's done, you see.
Ooh.
You know,
God.
Phil, I was about to say that at least with you sort of sitting back for this first section, you've not had the tongue lashing. But clearly that one made up for it.
Yeah, just because I'm dead, I don't get away with it.
Oh boy.
No, I think it's something you do need to plan, though. I mean, that attack on that island is not going to be easy. And if you look at the map, that volcano at the base is right 1.5 miles across.
Mm.
So you're probably talking that it's quite away from the outer reef.
This is the thing. I mean, there's going to be a stretch of open water that we're going to have to traverse.
I have a cunning plan.
What?
I've solved the recon problem.
Aerial reconnaissance.
Tell Dan Dare. Oh, sorry, that's the Mekon problem.
We don't know what that is.
Oh,
You know what the Mekon is?
oh,
I thought that was a joke.
I'm surrounded by Philistines.
For the last time, I have not been alive until 1990.
Yes, I.
High five.
Don't know what you're talking about either.
Oh, dear me.
Dan Dare and Evil Comics.
Yeah.
What? What's Dan Dare? I did...
Is that like a posh way of saying Dundee?
No,
Looks like a 40s or 50s comic, according to Google.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the Dandy.
no,
No,
Dan
Dan
Dare,
Dare.
pilot of
The comic was
Dan
Eagle.
Dare, pilot of the future.
The comic was Eagle.
Yeah, amongst others.
No, it was. I'm
The
assuming. It was,
world's no one space hero.
number one.
Oh, they spelt number one NO dot and put it right next to one, so it
Yeah.
looked like no one.
He was.
It's a very small thumbnail I'm looking at.
the No One magazine. I mean,
No
I've read
One's
some
space
retro British magazines, but they stop at the Dandy and the Beano, not the Dundare. But that's just me. I had a very sheltered upbringing. So, Annie, are you heading back to meet up with
Yes.
the others?
I am.
Okay. And by that point, night has fallen. No sign of Chumin yet, and even after waiting up, should you wish to, for a few hours, he still doesn't come back. Do you try and sleep for the night?
I think you should take me to this green gang. The rest of you, look, we're not going in yet. We've got 3 days, and the reason for that is I've checked with the Japanese. They're actually hitting the island in 3 days' time. So we're going to hit the island in 3.25 days' time. We're going to follow them in once we know once we've seen all the stuff they throw at the Japanese.
I agree 99% with that plan. However, I have one small caveat, but it's a major one.
Hmm.
What if whatever they're fucking doing is done in 3 days? By the time the Japanese get there, they've all buggered off because whatever they're doing. They've done.
It's obviously your first adventure. You know damn well it always happens at the moment the players arrive. No.
Wow.
Well, if you want to go in ahead of the special forces, then by all means.
I'm just merely pointing out that whilst we might be looking forward to the timetable provided to us by the Japanese Navy, the cultists might not have read that timetable.
What's the moon phase? How long have we got?
It's just been a full moon. Full moon was 2 days ago.
Oh. Well, no, they never do things on full moon. They do things on new moon,
New
don't
moon.
they? So
Mhm.
we've actually got a couple of weeks.
Oh well, then 3 days won't matter.
Because everything they've done so far, all these cults, it's always on a new moon.
New moon.
They don't like old moons.
In that case, I'm tempted then to see if we can't do a little bit of sabotage, particularly with Ho Fang.
We need to find his boat.
Yeah.
That's a point as well, actually, in that during your time with the Japanese consulate and so on, you did do a little bit of, walking around, and you did not come across the boat.
Hmm.
Not in your initial
So-
search.
I suggest what we do with the new China army in the meantime. I'm going to go get your leader and the rest of you tomorrow, after a good night's sleep. I need you to hit the entire waterfront and see if you can find this boat. Actually, weren't they doing that today? Actually, did you find it?
No. No, we
Then-
found a, but we didn't find it. We found a lot of fishermen.
No. The new China army were looking for it today, weren't they?
They were actually, you're right. I completely
Mm.
forgot.
Yeah. Is there
They
a-
have also come up empty-handed. They've not found it anywhere.
Right. We need to have a think about where else that might be then, other than the island, because the key is here. Could it be in a warehouse of Ho Fang's? Do we know all of his warehouses, or is it just the one?
The new China army laugh at you and say, well, you burnt it down mostly.
Yes, well, that's why I didn't expect it to be there, because it wasn't there when we looked. No, does he have any other warehouses? What are the...
Nothing big enough for the boat to fit in, secluded, no. How do we know that's not even a spare key?
It could be.
Well, unless he's turned the boat invisible, I don't see where else it could be, apart from
Okay.
the island, unless he's taken it south somewhere to Hong Kong again.
Well, if it is a spare key, then I'd expect to find it at the island. But if it isn't, then it's somewhere here. Okay,
Well,
let me go
we
get
have-
your leader then. Where am I going? Liu, can you show me the way?
He'll be
coming,
perfectly
Andrew?
fine without you. He doesn't
need
need
a
a British
priest.
person to come in and save him.
He hasn't come back. And we still don't have more men from the Green Gang.
I really hope we don't have to worry about this, but I could try and rally some of my contacts since I've been given permission. There won't be, I don't think there will be as much as the Green Gang might have supplied, but it's still something.
Okay, well, that's a job for tomorrow. For now, I think we need to get Moo back.
You mean Min?
Min.
To be fair, I got it mixed up as well.
I mean, I could show you the way, but I don't think there's anything to worry about yet.
Okay. Well, on your advice, we'll wait till the morning.
Hopefully I'm right.
Well, his life is depending on you being right.
All right, let's go.
So you're going to head to the Green
You're-
Gang.
You're not a man of your convictions, are you, Lou?
No, I don't want any other people I know about on my conscience. I just had your friend last night. That's more than enough.
Are you coming, Andrew? We might need a priest.
I'm still somewhat shaken by the fact that Lou's happily admitting that he had someone last night. But yes, I will come along as well.
Okay. You hear rattling actually, and it's something that's kind of been quiet to start with, but it has been getting louder. You assume it's the weather outside getting worse. It is technically into monsoon season, and as you open the door, there's a lot of rain that's spraying around, being blown around, and so on. You can
Close
still,
the
of course,
door
go
and
out.
Do this
But-
tomorrow.
I was gonna say you can still do it if you want, but there is a storm happening outside. However,
Yeah,
I was
No,
going,
that's why he hasn't come back yet, isn't it? It's fine. We'll do it in the morning.
I was, however, going to jump to somebody who doesn't really have a choice to get indoors, which is Phil's character, Phil's new character. So you are essentially on your boat. Obviously, you know, in terms of what type of boat, how quick it is, whatever, that is up to you. But the storm, as you've been going up north from Australia, presumably, or at least, you know, Philippines and so on, you know, stop, has been getting worse and worse. And you've realized that you've started to drift off course. It's now very dark, very, very little light pollution as well, because you're well away from any coastline in China. So it's difficult to see. And at the minute, you're being bumped around quite a lot. You're having to kind of batten down the hatches a bit. You do have some crew, you know, small crew to help you, and they're trying to help as much as you can. You've got cargo as well. I'm assuming that you've got some opals with you, or perhaps something similar with you.
Something like that. Yeah.
Okay. Would you like to describe what your character Alan looks like?
Yeah, sure. He's dark hair, brown eyes, tall, sort of warrior and energetic. Quite a realistic type of person. He's very down to earth. He was born on Lightning Ridge in New South Wales. Went to college in Brisbane. Returned as a mining engineer, determined to make his fortune, and struck it rich in the opal fields.
Indeed. And now you're expanding. Well, you were hoping to expand by going up to China and so on, but obviously there's been a bit of a blip with your course.
Yes.
So you're trying to steer the boat as much as you can, but the waves just getting bigger and bigger. There is some sort of small reef that's approaching. You can kind of see this almost circular perimeter, and this very faint, but you can still see it, almost like a lighthouse beacon in a strange sort of way, glowing, this kind of sort of almost conical shape, glowing a little bit. You know, whether it's an illusion or not, you're sort of squinting at it. You see it maybe as a guide to get you in, which you can do if you like.
Yeah, I'll be shouting orders to the crew, trying to wipe the rain from my eyes as I try and steer the boat.
Okay. Would you be able to make me a luck roll, please?
A luck roll. Yes, that's a pass.
Okay. So yeah, you're kind of quite used to it now, so you're trying to go in sideways a little bit, and you just see this kind of small opening that you try to navigate your way into. Could I have a pilot boating roll
Ooh,
to ensure you don't hit the side or anything like that?
and that is a fail.
Okay, so you go just a little bit wide, and you hear the back port side smash into the side of this reef. It throws you a little bit. Obviously, you don't get hurt though by it. Nobody gets hurt, but at the same time, you really only have one way in now, which is inside this strange-looking, much calmer area of water. But you know that the hull's been breached, so you're going to have to block it up. You can see land though ahead, maybe half a mile, maybe a bit more away. So you could just try and get to the island that's appearing in front of you, or you can obviously try and block the hole up first.
Yeah, I will try and steer for the island, and I'll shout to some of the crew to go down and try and patch it from inside.
Okay.
Just to get us to the island.
Okay.
Or start bailing, one or the other.
Okay. Right. So, oh, actually, I've not done your thingies. I'll just have to have a look myself. Where is your character sheet? There we go. Oh! Okay. Give your spot hidden a tick.
Oh, okay.
You actually got an extreme, interestingly. So you try and drift it in as close as you can to this island, and you do notice a couple of possible places you can land. But one thing that really freaks you out is you see something in the water that bobs up just for a moment, but even in the darkness, you can see its eyes glinting. It's very kind of aquatic, fish-like eyes, just glaring at you for a moment as if it knows that you're here, and that's a problem. And almost immediately it dives away, but you see enough of it. It's almost like a big fish creature, this large fin you can see running down, from its head down its neck and so on. No fish like you've ever seen before. Would I be able to have a sanity roll from you, actually, please?
And that is a fail.
Okay. So actually, is it that, or is it a bit less? Is it on here somewhere? Put it on here.
Goes mad in the first scene.
No, that would be funny.
Set a bit of a record.
Yeah, potentially. Apart from poor Monsieur Savoyard.
Right, we're going to go to the island in 3 days, so we can meet you then and rescue you. That'll be about 4 sessions.
Rescue by Christmas.
Oh no, I was right. Actually.
But even if it does take us 4 sessions to rescue you, at least you know your character will have survived longer than at least one of Becky's.
Okay. So, Alan, you lose 4 sanity points from seeing this creature.
Okay.
Again, nothing like you've ever seen before, and it's just kind of trying to remember in your mind's eye what this thing looks like from the small part of what you saw. You start thinking, well, has it got extra fins? Has it got like a big tail or something? What was it? A shark? Like a small whale or something? And your mind starts speculating all this stuff.
When I see it, I'll pause in fighting the wheel and sort of probably stare at the place it dived down a little bit too long.
Yeah. You rush over to the side of the boat, and you can't actually see. You think maybe it's gone deeper down, or it's drifted too far away, out of your peripheral vision. Whatever it is, it's gone quick.
Okay, so I'll rush back to the wheel and start shouting more orders. I'll glance back a couple more times, see if it's behind us still.
Okay. So you kind of head further around. You can see it's quite obvious that you can't really land on the side like to your right, so 2 o'clock. It's too kind of steep ground on there. If you head round to port side and head round that way, you start seeing gentler slopes. You actually notice some very crude looking housing of sorts, like a settlement of sorts, quite small though.
I'll head directly for it.
Okay. Yeah. So you could potentially land on there. It's still quite rocky. It might not be that you can actually run aground as such, but you could potentially try and pull it round and maybe tie it off somewhere. So I'm going to need another pilot boating roll from you.
It's not going to go well, is it? That's a fail.
What is your pilot boating out of interest?
1.
I thought you added some points to that.
No.
Oh, okay. Never mind
Hold
then.
on, hold on. You're the fisherman with the boat.
He's not a fisherman.
Well, you're a guy with the boat.
No. You
He's
missed a bit.
ambitious.
He's a rich man with a boat.
Oh, that explains it then.
I've got
Sailing with nothing but white privilege.
I've got a crew for this shit.
Shop homemade.
Was it just a regular fail or was it a fumble?
It's just a regular fail.
Okay. So some of your stash of opals shakes around a bit, jostles. You actually hear a couple sort of come out and scatter across the deck, but you don't lose any, you think. But at the same time, you come in quite hard to this set of rocks. It's not too bad in that you're going to have to fix it, obviously, if you want to get out of here anytime soon, but you can tie it off. Everyone's a little bit relieved and a bit sort of shaken, especially you, given what you saw. But then you start...
as long as I get the crew ashore.
Yeah, so they can head across fairly quickly, but then you start hearing footsteps and noise, and quite quickly you are surrounded by creatures that are not quite the same as what you saw in the water. They look a bit more human-like, but they definitely have aquatic features, slightly webbed hands. You can see gills, big lips, and very kind of scaly, rubbery faces. And they just crowd you.
Okay. We'll try and get the crew. I'll shout to the crew to get back on the boat, and we'll try and get back to the boat, but whether we can or not.
There are quite a few of them. You could try and fight your way out. You do have a gun, don't you?
I can't remember. Did I give? Yes, I've got a pistol.
I mean, you could try. There are a good 8 or 10 of them.
I'll fire into the air above their heads, a couple of rounds.
Oh, okay. What are you trying to do? Get them to stand down?
Just get them to just maybe scare them if I can.
Okay. All right, give me an intimidate roll.
Intimidate. And that is a pass. Just a pass.
Ooh. Okay.
14.
I did have the page, but then I lost it. Still a regular pass, though, isn't it?
It's a regular pass.
Oh. Okay. So they definitely flinch from that. However, something else then comes into view, something larger. Again, still very kind of humanoid, aquatic-looking features, but much taller, a bit more girth as well to them. And then it suddenly throws something at you, and you can't quite see what it is. It's something dark. Maybe you probably think maybe it's like a bit of mud, like a bit of wet mud that just throws at you.
Mm-hmm.
But suddenly you feel something almost clinging to your head. You can't see anymore, and in a few seconds it just goes dark.
Oh, hi guys.
In fact, actually, I'll let you make me a power roll.
Power roll. Right.
Make me a power roll. Make a power roll.
Okay. Power is 65. And that is 18, which is through 5 off hard pass.
Okay. In that case, what I'll say is while you...
No, sorry, 5 off an extreme. It was a hard pass.
Oh, okay. What I'll say is while you can't get this thing off, whatever it is, it's some sort of weird oily substance that's moving slightly, like sliding around you. You obviously can't see as well because just how opaque this goo is, but you're being frog marched essentially somewhere.
Is it stopping me from breathing?
No, it's just kind of covering almost like a crude blindfold. It's covering sort of this part of your head, so you can breathe no problem. But basically, you feel these strange inclinations to comply, but you pull out of it every so often. You get these moments of lucidity. So what I'll say is that you do see, or rather, you kind of not see, but you visualize. I'll say you visualize sort of roughly what's happening. So there's a lot of commotion around you. You're being frog marched up a slope somewhere, and then you start going down these steps, down and down and down somewhere. It seems to be going on for ages. You hear at the bottom a lot of activity, a lot of clanging, other strange noise that you can't quite work out what they are. Some strange gurgling sounds, like shouting, gurgling sounds, and more footsteps everywhere, like people running around, you think, or doing something. And you're eventually pushed into somewhere, and then you hear the sound of something metal slam, so you assume you've been put in somewhere or what have you. You try and feel along the walls, and you feel very kind of slightly kind of sandy texture, but yeah, you feel like you're in some kind of natural alcove that's cordoned off. But yeah, as you're kind of there, and you can also tell that other people are in there with you.
Okay.
You can't stop hearing this clanging sound, which you think for a while, okay, maybe it's hammering or something, but it's something that gets into your mind, especially with this thing on you, and you just start obsessing over it, and you can't get out of your head.
Okay. I'll sort of maybe fall down on the floor and try and pull this thing off. And at the same time, I'll shout to the other members of the crew, see if anyone's there.
Okay. You shout out. You can't hear any of your crew. You can hear other people shouting, though, or trying to respond to you. But they're in mostly Chinese, or a dialect of Chinese, you think. So there's a bit of a language barrier, shall we say. At one point, as you're shouting, you suddenly feel this goo almost tighten around you, and you feel, again, something just trying to subdue you from somewhere, not right in your vicinity, but somewhere nearby. And you hear this gurgling in your ears. So that is your situation for a good few days or so, depending on when the others turn up.
They're going to Kenya. They're going off to Kenya, aren't they?
Yeah, they're going to Kenya. However, they don't all have a completely restful night either, especially Annie. Annie, you dream. You dream about your, shall we say, session with Monsieur Savoyard, and in extreme graphic detail,
That's the
the
guy you tortured.
the dude you flayed, or rather you got the Biaki to flay, in all the sounds of the lacerations and the cuts, peeling of skin, tearing is all amplified. But then as you see more of his skin come off, it's almost as if his legs are beginning to elongate and grow. And you start seeing this bulging appear in his forehead until a third eye appears. And he starts shrieking in this very, I suppose, euphoric manner. And he turns to you with his third eye in particular. He actually closes the other two, and the third eye is there, and says to you, "You could be like him."
Like who?
Like I. Like him. He is everywhere, and you have made me into his image. The skinless one.
Why would I want to be skinless? I have beautiful skin.
Could I have a power roll, please? Alan Carter.
Hard pass.
Okay. Yeah, you're very convinced that you want to keep your skin, but at the same time, his form is quite maybe curious to you, I suppose, given your occult interest in the occult, maybe, or maybe it's not. Maybe it's not. It's up to you.
I mean, I have beautiful skin, but, I don't look down on people that suffer complaints of their skin. Have you been to a doctor? I say in my dream. Maybe they could prescribe a cream for it.
Those last few words kind of echo around, and things start to distort and get a bit more surreal. But in any case, you eventually wake up when morning comes, as do the others. You can have 1 mythos point for that.
I think I got visited in the night.
I
Visited, you say?
No context.
context would be good.
Nah, it's just TMI for me.
No,
I mean,
by a creature from the beyond. One without skin.
You could roll me a Cthulhu Mythos roll if you want.
Sure. Would you believe that is actually a pass, and I could make it a hard pass quite easily.
Ooh.
I'm only 2 off.
Go for it.
You think that the fact that you flayed Saviard in such a way invoked another avatar of Nyarlathotep to appear to you.
So I think I was Yes, I was visited, and I'm just cross-referencing my sources in my head now, and yes, that would be Nyarlathotep has contacted me. Didn't our predecessors come across him in Egypt? Wasn't that where that French woman died? The one everyone says is obnoxious.
I'd be damned if I knew. What French woman?
We none of us know.
I know.
We weren't here.
I have seen all.
Well,
I would have done it in
probably
20 hours if it wasn't for you, and then gets visited by fucking Nyarlathotep.
I'm on the right path.
Mm-hmm.
What the fucking Nyarlathotep?
Yeah, I'm drawing them out of their, instead of going to the final encounter, let's just draw them out and take them out here.
You're on a path.
Yeah,
there,
right.
And
Yeah,
how
right.
many forms does Nyarlathotep have? Isn't it like 2,000 or something?
Okay, there's quite a few encounters, but it beats whatever he has planned.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't got anything planned. I was just trying to get to shore.
Just trying to introduce your character, exactly, yeah. Right, has Min...
So, after a little bit more time, you notice that the storm has eased off a bit. There's a lot of water on the ground still. But yes, you do hear a bit of a bang come from the front. And no, it's not Madam Min. It's not Sword in the Stone, Jesus. No pink dragons. So, yes, he does come back. He kind of staggers his way in, though. He looks a little wounded.
Oh dear. That didn't go to plan, did it?
No, definitely not.
There was no plan. He wanted to see me to make a point.
What kind of point? I mean, looks like a
He
steel
wanted to show me his big cock. What do you think?
He has roosters.
Yeah. Yeah, he does. I'll be fine.
I'm so sorry, Mr. Min. I wasn't expecting that to happen. Otherwise, I wouldn't have told you.
Yeah,
But
well,
did you get any men?
no. He wanted to see me to again remind me about our arrangement and how he found it a little insulting that I would apparently send somebody back to get more.
I did tell him I wasn't there on your behalf, though.
Yeah, well, he didn't believe you.
That makes him a... sorry.
He starts wrapping his shoulder up.
Well, good news. I've solved our scouting problem.
What scouting problem?
Well, you wanted to scout fast.
Yes.
So the Japanese are going to arrive on the island in, well, now it'll be 2.5 days.
Oh, by the way, now it is Monday. If you've got any hit points that need replenishing and you haven't got a major wound, you can add one back.
Yes, so the Japanese are going to arrive on the island in 2.5 days. So we're going to arrive not long after. Now, whatever this flying beastie is, we'll see it before we arrive, as it kills the Japanese and their big guns fire at it. It's their special forces too, so we couldn't ask for better.
Yes, those scrolls did mention something about something silver flying.
Silver and flying? In my occult knowledge or my Cthulhu mythos knowledge, do I have any clues as to what silver flying things might be?
You could certainly roll it. I'm just trying to get the word for word. So just to remind you what it says, the Pale Viper's plan to salt the heavens with poisoned metal stolen from the sky comes to fruition. On the day the sun grows dark, the silver bird shall take wing. And then talks about opening the way and stuff.
Okay, so does my mythos or occult, does that cross-reference with anything? Although obviously, you know, can figure out something about that.
It's the silver thing that throws you because there's various flying creatures that can be summoned and so on, but
silver is a very specific detail.
Yeah,
so
indeed.
Not okay.
No.
Not
You speculate a few things and think, oh wait, no, it can't be right. No. So yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess we're all kind of set. We just need to let Madame Butterfly know. Sorry, Swallow.
Madam Mim, Madam Butterfly. God, this is a weird amalgamation of stories and operas and melodramas.
We're determined. We who are about to die are going to spread this umbrella as far and wide as possible.
I was saying to my other masks.
Giorgio's here. He threw me.
I was saying to my other mask group the other day that you lot have come up with some hilarious bastardizations of names. Because they did one by accident, which was Rosenberg instead of Schosenberg. And I said, oh, as in like the spies, was that like a joke? And they're like, no, genuine mistake. And I'm like, oh, okay. Because they've come up with all these funny names. But anyway.
Well, I mean, we got Gaviscon.
Yeah, well, I didn't want to say that.
Which is unbeatable.
Yes. If they come up with Gaviscon without any sort of prompt, I'll be impressed.
Any English? Is there any players from Britain in that other?
Yeah.
Yeah, Gaviscon is an almost guarantee.
We shall see.
Right. So, there's no more allies to be had unless we march into the Green Gang and try and do it from a white perspective, dare I say it. So I guess the thing to do is just go with what we got, which is almost everyone that's available, really.
Well, speaking of Madame Lin, she definitely gave across the impression that she didn't really want to go into the thick of it.
No, she isn't, but her men were.
Oh, yeah, you did kind of arrange that, didn't you? Yes, okay. Okay, well, we did that, so fine. But yeah, she's definitely going to come in afterwards and just swarm.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
So
we've got the men from that. We've got the new China army. We've got a handful of Green Gang. Any other mercenaries we can buy in the pubs over the next couple of days, and I shall let Mr. Chum know. Because they'll all be paid with Ho Fang's money. They need to turn up with weapons. And then we just need to make sure we've got enough boats for them all, which I presume we have.
Yeah, I'll say yes. Although the boats you've got are going to be smaller, certainly, than the Japanese Navy.
Of course. Japanese Navy is probably going to turn up with guns or whatever.
They've got a couple of battleships, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas, like, we're going to turn up in little provincial things, junks and stuff. Local boats. But yeah, we'll arrange some of them over the next few days, and then with everyone assembled, we'll go and rescue Alan Carter that we don't know about yet.
Not yet.
It's more of a hunch that someone is in danger.
But of course, there is one player character who's already said we should go nowhere near any ships that are already there. Although I would argue that's the best place to hide your ship, because if you go in at night, you won't get spotted.
I was going to say, I'm assuming that you're going to arrive at night, right?
Kind of depends when the Japanese arrive, really, but we want to go in not long after.
Well, I suppose it depends how close you get. Because, as you know, there's not really much surrounding this place.
Well,
so
we've got the time of day, right, for the Japanese attack.
Yes, yeah, you do.
Yeah, so we'll just time it for after that.
Okay.
Two small points on that. One, that's rather bases the idea that we know how long the Japanese are going to be attacking for.
Oh, not long.
Hopefully not, because that sort of guides into my second point. Well, actually, my second point could still be relevant if they decide to set up a blockade.
The Japanese have no knowledge or understanding of anything of otherworldly gods, things from afar. Right? They're going in purely to soften them all up, but they've got big guns, so,
Having said that, you don't know specifically what their plan of action is when they reach the island. You're hoping that they're going to be shelling and what have you, but you've never actually asked them.
No, they almost certainly won't. But they will have boats with shells. Actually, I'm just
they will have
curious.
Boats, but you have no idea what they're going to actually do.
What if we go in before the Japanese and get ourselves in a position? All right, then in that case, fine. I will go to the Japanese consulate before we arrive and find out what the plan is from what's his name,
I'm slightly more worried about the possibility of a blockade.
Now, I will tell Asugi that I'm going to put some men on the island and they'll all be wearing a yellow armband. How about that?
Yeah.
And we'll actually go in first. That way we've got the Japanese guns there to cover us for when some big silver flying thing turns up.
Well,
I'd
really like to possibly maybe destroy the cultists before big silvery flyy thing turns up.
Yes, but isn't it good to have a battleship there for when it happens?
Yes.
Well, that does certainly
Yes,
help.
I'd like to turn that when into an if, possibly
Okay.
not happening.
So the plan then is, in the course of these couple of days, I'm going to go back to the embassy and I'm going to have a message sent to Isugi, whatever his name was.
It's okay.
It's okay. That I'm going to put some men on the island beforehand. They will be wearing yellow armbands.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'll have that telegram sent to him. And we're actually going to arrive before the Japanese, we have decided, so that the Japanese will arrive whilst we're there. And that way...
They'll give you support, basically.
Well, I'm thinking of if a silver flying thing gets out, they'll have the battleship there.
Okay. Fair enough. You know from kind of forecast predictions that the next in the next couple of days it is going to start getting a bit calmer potentially on the waves. So that's probably why the Japanese chose to sail around that point. So yeah, it's as good a time as any to make your move. All right.
We'll
So
distribute yellow armbands.
okay, what's your plan, by the way, for the yellow armband team? Have they got a specific location to go to, or a
Island.
specific move? Well, yeah, obviously the island, but what are they doing on the island?
Well, we're all going to go in. We haven't really planned how we're going to land yet because we don't know what we're going to see when we arrive.
Okay.
I mean, we've got a map, but the map doesn't really show what's a beach. It's in weird colours, and we know there's a volcano. I'm guessing whatever nasty thing we need to deal with is almost certainly in that volcano.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, we did hit... Now, this isn't matter because there was talk before about fish people, wasn't there? But we don't know much about that. We certainly don't know for sure that they're there.
Well, they sort of attacked the harbour place, didn't they?
Yeah, I think we have to we have to work on the assumption that if they're not on the island, they may very well be patrolling the waters around it.
Yeah, no, we do have to do that. So we need to be vigilant once we get into the region of this atoll.
No, they can't.
We have to make that assumption.
Okay. Do I have? No, I don't. Do I? No. I'm going to need that to open. I knew I'd forgotten something. Where are you there?
Either that, or we're all going to be victims of the creatures from the Grey Dragon Lagoon.
Well, this is not the Black Dragon Lagoon. See, I can make jokes too.
Wait, silver, grey. They're like kind of the same thing, but one's metallic, one's non-metallic.
Yeah.
Flying. Now, what's grey and flies?
A really old bee.
A really old bee.
Yeah. It couldn't be. I mean, it couldn't be a dragon, could it?
Or, well, it depends. If not a dragon, then maybe something that the ancient
led to
people
the myth.
led to the myth, which means we're looking at either another Shantak or Hunting Horror again. Which would be part of the course for this campaign. We've had plenty of those bastards. So it kind of makes sense, actually, that one of them makes an appearance. So it could be...
Just be a very old one because it's gone grey.
Yeah.
That's China. It always has to have the oldest everything, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so if I share my screen, let's go for a window. Okay. So, voila. Here it is for you. So, you're going to be coming in. I'm going to use a small bit first. From this entrance or this direction. To zoom in further for you.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. Move. Yes, maybe over there. So there are a couple of very small islands and things, but yeah, the main one is.
Well, there's a dotted white path. Let's follow that.
It's very thoughtful of them.
That was very nice of them. Huge breadcrumbs for us to follow.
Well, I mean, that is what the New China Army had sort of planned from what they know. So, that's a possible landing place. But yeah, so anyway, I'll do a kind of approach description and so on. So, yes, so you make your journey to Grey Dragon Island, southeast of Shanghai, out into the open ocean of the East China Sea. For a while, there is absolutely nothing, no land that you can see, until finally, thanks to your coordinates that you've obtained, you do manage to see this strange reef appear in front of you. It's actually quite tricky to see. So without the coordinates, it would have caused you a lot more trouble. But yeah, you do find the little entranceway in here. So your main boat, shall we say, it's a bit bigger than a junker, but even so, yeah, you've got a couple of other boats following you. So you come in here, and yeah, like I said, there's a couple of smaller kind of, they're not even islands, they're more just kind of rocks jutting out. But yeah, if you want to follow the dotted line, you can. From what you know, yeah, you sort of head around the left
Time of
side.
day?
Well, this is night time, so I'm happy for you to have timed it tonight. Especially Chu Min, like he would have most definitely waited for nightfall before entering this vicinity.
I have a feeling. If you look at the sort of the southeast of that reef, there's a bit of the reef right across from where the landing bit on that island is that looks like a gap. It's not a big enough gap for us to get
Yeah,
through.
someone else suggested that.
That earlier.
I don't think it's big enough for us to get through, but I wonder if the Japanese Navy are going to weigh anchor at that bit and start bombarding. Because I can't see them coming in.
We've told them that we'll be on the island.
Yeah. Because
Yeah,
I can't see
plans
them
have
coming
changed.
into the lagoon.
Okay. So are you still intending to come through this main part here? Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you head on in, and it's really odd, the material or the kind of the texture of the rock on this reef. It's not like a coral reef or anything like that. It's much darker, and the texture, like the consistency, is much tighter than coral or anything like that. But it rises up to about 8 feet at the most, so you do have some cover, which is good if you wanted to maybe hide some vessels, just beyond. But yeah, you start heading in. Do you follow this trajectory then? Are you keen to head to this kind of landing spot here? Okay. Not a problem.
We're literally going to track the white dots because, it's probably some Cthulhu mythos thing.
I thought I unlocked this. Have I just unlocked it? Oh, dear. Right, there we go. Okay, out of the way. There we go. Although, funnily enough, that bit locked, but no, never mind. I did not think this through. Okay, so you start coming down this bit, and then obviously you're going to about turn, fairly close. You can give me spot hidden rolls if you like.
Are we rolling?
Yes.
Pass.
Failed.
All failed spectacularly.
Okay. Anyone want to spend any luck to improve said rolls?
Too much for me.
Yeah, far too much.
I'll keep the
I already
salary one for you.
passed.
Yep, but you can make it a better roll if you want.
No, I can't.
Okay. Just making sure. Okay. So basically, in this part here, you definitely see some crude-looking housing or huts of some sort. This part here is definitely a kind of volcanic shape, this sort of conical bit that juts out. It towers up quite high, maybe about 100 feet, possibly a bit more. So where there's a way in, you're not entirely sure. You certainly can't see it from where you come in. But yeah, you sort of head round this bit here, and eventually, when you get round to this bit, yeah, you can see a very clear landing point. All this bay along here is quite flat, so it's easy enough for you to, get your boat on shore and so on.
Did we see a shipwrecked Australian boat, by the way?
I would say it's a bit too difficult to see,
Okay.
given it's dark. That's what you've been able to see in the low light.
It's if you do see it, it's a very large sailing ship.
Are there any boats in the area we're coming into?
Yes, actually. So you notice. Yeah, okay. You notice as you start coming around this bit, you're keeping an eye out. Somebody shouts out, and you can see, and I'll go back down to this one, that a rather nice-looking luxury yacht appears to be coming out from here.
Motherfucker.
All right, that's Aubrey. We need to sink him. That's it. That's the big fight. We've got a boat.
Ramming.
We don't need to ram him. Look, we've got a boat. His isn't a warship either. It doesn't matter. We've got a load of men on our boat. He's got zappy magic.
We might set up a mortar and see how that goes.
Yeah. Or a Lewis gun or something.
We fire a mortar, we can say goodbye to our surprise.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. That is Aubrey. That's his boat anyway. Assumedly it is. We got binoculars. Let's have a closer look. Is it the
You
black
got binoculars?
fan?
You mean the Dark
Black-
Mistress?
Dark Mistress, that's the one.
No, it says Luxuriant Goddess on the side.
Luxuriant Goddess. Oh, it'll be Ho Fang's.
Oh, thanks. Yes.
Yeah, you don't see any sign of the Dark Mistress anywhere. Certainly on where you traversed so far.
I'll check it with the people on board, but that is Ho Fang's boat, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's definitely her
Okay.
boat.
Does it look like it's following or is it tacking out?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. If he noticed that or whatever.
It's following for a bit, but it's not coming right round, so it's kind of staying about here before it starts slowing down.
Okay, I suggest we just go in and kill it. Kill all things.
What, on the boat or the island?
On the boat. I mean, it's not got Sir Aubrey there, though, has it? No, that's the thing. We need to find the big magic users. We can't be stuck out to sea.
Yeah, we might as well just do it while we are at it.
I think we should find the magic users before we engage. And the problem is, I don't think, if we get ourselves stuck in a fight out at sea, there can be zapping magic at us from afar and throwing creatures.
Yeah, we'll be sitting ducks. No, we gotta go
But
on
they
the
know
island.
we're here.
Yet.
Well, he knows we're here unless he's got communication on the ship to get to the island like Morse or anything. They might not know yet.
Well, he stopped by that village we passed, so presumably, yes.
Well, he's not gone quite there, but he's maybe in view. Yeah.
Hmm.
But you're still wanting to land on this bay, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So yeah, you heading up. There's a little bit of a slope, so there's a small amount of cover if you want to kind of go to a crawl or what have you. But let me just get up.
No, crawl, nothing, flat out.
Flat out. Okay.
We got to put some distance between us and him now.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Also, there's a chance. I don't know how wide this island is, but if there is some messenger coming from that village, then there's a chance we'll intercept them if we're on the land.
Well, there is a scale. So in terms of width like that, yeah, it's about 3/4 of a mile, and then 2 miles
It's
across.
possible. It's
So
possible.
yeah,
to
if there is a
intercept.
messenger, then there's a chance we'll. What's the terrain like?
Interestingly, when you get off, it's very sandy, but also the color is very, very dark. It's almost entirely, and you can smell it as well. Very kind of volcanic, sooty sort of texture beneath your feet. But yeah, as you disembark, you start seeing lights appearing around here. And they're coming this way.
Balls.
Okay. I think
I'd
it
say
might-
we try and hide and ambush them.
Yeah, let's set up a defensive position.
Yeah.
But actually, aren't we at risk of being stuck in the middle between whatever's in the volcano?
I'm almost tempted to say, can we do a defensive run?
Defensive circle.
Well, I was thinking more if we're heading towards that volcano, right?
Yeah, it might be better to be at one end of the island than stuck in the middle. I have to say.
If we basically we do a defensive retreat. We basically make a run for the volcano, but we've got enough of a defensive line to start picking off
You're not
whoever's
going to be
chasing us.
defending if you're running. It didn't work that way.
That's why I said defensive retreat.
No, I think we need to not be in the middle.
Hello for Duke.
Hello.
Us.
I know.
Hello. I don't know.
We can't be in the middle. We either head right into those lights and take those people out, or we head to the volcano.
Volcano. It's my call.
Yeah,
Volcano
Mine
for me
too.
as well.
stealthily would be preferable.
Mhm.
The only
Alright.
problem I have with stealthy is that means slower, which means they have a chance to catch us.
Mm.
I think we go all out.
Yeah, I think we just beat them to it.
Yeah, we just push on through just fast as we can and get to our volcano first.
Okay. In that case, give me con rolls rather than stealth rolls.
Okay, I'll catch you up.
That's an outpass for me.
Okay.
I'll help Annie.
We'll help Annie. Okay.
In fact, depending on how much you missed it by Annie, you might be helping me.
No. I mean, I failed by 43.
Oof.
I'm helping you.
Again, you can try pushing if you want.
No.
I know you guys are really reluctant to push, but sometimes it's worth it.
I do push. I just don't push on something that has a less than 50% chance of coming off because it's not worth the consequence.
That's fair. I couldn't remember if your con was over 50 or not, actually.
No.
Okay. Ooh.
It's rather worrying that the two people who really pushed for this, let's just run for the volcano, are the ones sitting in the back. That's a bit worrying.
Andrew, what's your spot hidden again?
25 is just
25. Okay. That's actually quite fitting then. So, Liu, you go on ahead and you leave the other two behind and you start heading up towards the volcano. But interestingly, you notice you're kind of cutting across country for a bit, but you start seeing this winding path that heads up a little bit towards the volcano, but it's not heading all the way to the top.
okay.
So you're about here.
Okay. So I turn around to tell the others, and
Yep.
I think I see that they are behind.
Yeah, they are falling behind. They're not as quick as you.
Yeah, so I go back a little and tell them and whomever decided to disembark with us
All of
that
them.
maybe there's a path.
It's got to
follow.
be all of us. We can't leave any people behind at this point.
Either way, there's a path we could follow.
Okay.
It doesn't
Lead the way.
directly go to the edge of the volcano, but maybe we can find a way in.
It sounds like the kind of thing I'm expecting. So, based on experience of Kenya,
Okay. Okay. However, some people who've been following you have seen that you're moving up towards the path, and certainly in terms of Andrew and Annie, they have closed in on you enough so you can see them. Fortunately, they don't appear to have any ranged weapons on them, but they are armed with clubs.
Oh no.
They are these strange-looking fish-like human, like half human, half fish hybrids, shall we say?
Lewis
I
Gunn.
I was wrong. I was wrong. They weren't circling the fucking island. They were on the island. Okay.
I don't believe you make a sanity roll against them. No, you don't. Okay, but obviously their appearance is still quite unsettling. So we are going to go into initiative mode.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, we might as well bring that back like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I believe it is Liu first. Let me just double check.
I got 60.
Yes, I know. It is you first.
So I'm taking out my gun with a silencer.
Uh-huh.
And I'm shooting a motherfucker.
Okay.
One, the closest.
Oh, oops.
That's a regular.
Okay, that's one hit.
And I'm rolling for damage. That's a total of 9.
Okay, so that is a major wound for one of them. Oh, God. And they are definitely out for the count on that from a 100. So, yeah, they're just thrown back. You see the strange dark blue, you think blood coming out of them. And they fall to the ground as the others keep advancing.
First of all, you.
Ew, indeed. Andrew and Annie, technically you're tied in initiative, but I guess it depends on what you want to do with your move.
Depends. How many fishies are there?
There are about 5 of them coming up at the moment. You don't know if there are more behind them, but they're kind of the ones at the front. Alan is giggling.
I feel
I
the
just think. Sorry.
feel the need to shoot one of them.
Go on.
You just, they better not get taken alive. You don't know what Annie's going to do to them.
All right, Andrew, do your thing and shoot them. You remembered the rifle, you say?
I didn't buy any weapons. It was the weapons that were laid on for us.
No. Well, you can have things like rifles if you want, although they're a bit close for rifles at the minute. Pistol's probably better.
Don't have a pistol.
Well, you could try with a rifle then.
I'm looking for the stats.
Oh, I thought you'd already written down. Give me a second.
Oversight by me.
No, it's okay. I think they're a D10 plus 2 at
I
least.
wasn't expecting to be alive long enough to fight anything.
1d10 plus 2 is my pistol.
1d10
mate.
plus 2.
Oh, is it the pistol? Oh, God, okay.
That's my pistol.
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah. So, they are 2d6 plus 4.
2d6 plus 4, okay.
Well, that's damage, of course, if you hit.
Yeah.
That's a lot of damage.
2d6 plus 4. I hate these fucking dice. I haven't blooded them in yet. I missed.
Okay. Yeah, so they, like, a couple of them spread out from the others, but you hit wide anyway. So they're trying to reform at this point. Presumably you keep on running.
Yes.
Annie, do you want to take a shot whilst you're doing so?
Yes.
Okay.
I possibly killed Alan Carter.
What, you shot all the way into the volcano?
Yeah, I was a little bit wide of the target.
A little bit wide.
How wide are we talking here?
Well, not quite as bad as my con failure, but yeah,
Did
not
you get
great.
a fumble?
No.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, they fail their dodge, but also, yeah, so similar sort of thing, and that you're kind of causing them to scatter a bit with your fire, but it's not hitting anything. I mean, technically, this has turned into a bit of a chase, so why don't we get con rolls?
Oh wow, 0-9. That is actually an extreme.
Ah, very good, very good.
I failed.
Okay.
Not a fumble, but a fail.
Yep.
How our fortunes have crossed.
Andrew, what about you?
We might have frozen.
I believe it froze.
No, he's not. I can see him blinking. He's just deep in concentration.
Or is cursing between himself.
Have you rolled con, Andrew?
Oh. Aha! I rolled a 3.
Oh, extreme.
Extreme.
Presumably. Right. Okay. So, if you've got an extreme success, your movement goes up by +1, so you can do a little tick in the plus box, or just obviously
Plus
keep it
box
in your
of
head.
what?
In the movement box, there's
Oh,
a
I
plus and a
see.
minus where you can click.
Ah,
on each
yeah,
one.
I see.
If it's an extreme success, if you failed, you lose 1, so it's a minus. If it's a success or a hard success, it remains the same.
Okay.
Now,
I don't know where on the new sheet that is.
I don't actually know either.
What,
On
the
move there
movement?
is.
It's right there with the right there with the stats. It's right
It's on
below
the new
power.
No, I got the new character sheet, the one for the 40th
41 of
anniversary.
it.
Apparently, you cannot tick the +1 or -1 for chase. Maybe because nobody uses those rules.
Well, I don't normally anyway, but
Well, as a matter of fact, I do not.
lots of people I know don't like them. I understand why. Yes.
Well, okay, I noted that I got a -1, but still I'm standing shooting, so I don't really plan on moving that soon.
Well, we're all moving toward the volcano in a rolling fight, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if I manage to knock down a couple more, wouldn't hurt.
Okay, so Andrew, what is your movement now?
9.
9. With the extreme. Annie?
Also 9.
Okay.
I'm deeply moved.
Liu?
9.
No, because he
Why
failed.
No, mine is 6.
No,
You're
I was
6.
just
Now
responding
it's
to Ronnie.
6.
Okay. Okay. So, interestingly, after that kind of burst of adrenaline and you sprinting away from everyone, not only does Andrew and Annie catch up with you quite quickly, but also these creatures do as well. And they try and overcome you first.
Yeah, they can try.
Armed with their clubs. So it's going to be melee. Unless you want to try and shoot them with a pistol, which you could try and do. But at the same time, you're outnumbered.
Like the other people with us then. What happened to our army? How come we're outnumbered and how come they aren't shooting?
Well, they're coming, but at the same time, you've found the path first, so you're heading to there first. So, okay, yeah, I'll say that there's some shots behind you, and they're trying to suppress fire a little bit and make a shot. In fact, yeah, okay.
Given they are close range now, do I get a bonus for shooting back?
Oh, absolutely, yes.
Then I'm shooting back.
Okay, so a couple of them are hit from the eye behind you.
That's the next. No, I'm spending 2. Is it 2? Yes, I'm spending 2 luck to make it an extreme.
Oh, impale. Okay.
That'll do it.
Which is 10 plus the damage, which is 17 total.
17. Okay. Yep. So you instantly kill one as well. So there's basically only one of them left. They are still going to try and get on you, Liu, if they can. So they're going to try and hit you with this club.
Okay.
doing that.
I'm dodging.
Yeah. Okay.
Hard pass.
How much is your dodge?
65 total. I just rolled a 25.
Okay. You're lucky then, because they got hard as well, but you've got a higher dodge than their rolls. So you just managed, by the skin of your teeth while you're shooting, and a couple of others, to just weave out of the way of this spiked club. Interestingly, this club, it's spiked in that it's got these just very crude nails sticking out of it. It's quite a horrible looking instrument of
So
torture.
naive.
Yes. Thor. Okay, so the other two of you get out of the way of them now, and they're pretty much all gone by this point, except for this one that's busy with Liu. So you head up closer to the end of this path. You start seeing in the moonlight, there is an entranceway in front of you at the end of this path, which you think leads down like a cave complex, almost leading down into the volcano.
Rifle out in front of me. I will enter I will enter the entrance.
Wait, where's Liu?
He
Where's
is
everyone
busy,
else?
He's
Doing
busy
cool
trying to
shit.
wrestle with one remaining
Yeah, I
creature.
know. It's just like one
Right.
person's going off ahead and the other person. Like, I don't know where. I'm assuming I'm with Andrew because that was.
Yeah,
where
you're
you
both pretty much
dictated
neck and
it.
neck. Yeah, yeah.
I'm doing cool shit. Don't mind about me.
Well, exactly. I don't think we should have even separated in the first place. So, like, I've been moved.
Listen, you say run and I run, you don't. Now we're attacked, you run and I don't. I mean,
Okay.
we just don't find each other.
So, Liu, as you're trying to wrestle with this final creature with its club, you hear more gunshots behind you, and more of the army are coming up now. And they're obviously outnumbering this enemy. So you could try and make a break for it away if you want, either with, let's say, a dodge roll or a con, depending on which one you prefer to use.
I believe that's only 5 points of difference.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going with dodge either way because it's the highest.
okay.
Yeah, it's a pass.
Okay, so they're distracted enough that you can kind of get away from the crowd, as it were. You head on up to the path and you rejoin the others at the top. And so you see this cave opening in front of you.
And in answer to Fajouk's question, yes, the pillow behind you does have TNT written on it, right
Oh,
next to
that
the
pillow.
one that says Nitro.
Yes, those are Crash Bandicoot cushions, because I love Crash Bandicoot.
I mean, who doesn't?
Exactly.
Never played it.
It's
Come on,
amazing.
mate.
Different
Yeah,
generation.
Yeah, but we're 90s kids, Giorgio, so obviously we grew up on Crash Bandicoot. It's the rules.
Of
Very
course.
simple platformer, not original.
Ooh.
Manic Miner, that was original.
It's not a
Well,
good
it was.
time.
It invented platformers.
It's not a good time to alienate the GM.
Indeed. Very good point, Phil.
Rawr.
Okay, so yeah, you head on down with the echoes of gunfire further down the slope. You head down into this cave, and it turns quite quickly into a passageway, absolutely full of strange encryptions on the walls that would very much delight the insane. In fact, no, none of you were in Egypt. Okay, never mind, ignore me. Excuse me. So it goes on for quite a while down these steps. There's a bit of a curve as well, so maybe you think you're possibly going round some cavern below or what have you. But about 100 feet down, you start... Well, actually, no, before then, I beg your pardon. About halfway down, you start smelling sulfur and other kind of gases of that nature. You
Wait a
think
minute.
that when you
So-
get out,
okay.
yeah, you think when you get out that this smell's going to keep on you for days.
Yeah, that means though that the volcano is still active. There's still live magma under it. If you can smell sulfur.
I mean, one of you has geology, but they're not actually present, so...
For fuck's sake.
Okay, so... Let's see, just give me a second. Okay, I should have got that before, but never mind. Okie dokie. So, you also, the lower down you go, the more you think a natural light of sorts is emanating. There's not really any torches on the walls or anything of that nature. So it gets very dark at one point, but then you start seeing this faint orange glow coming from beyond. And then, yeah, when you get down to this chamber, basically before you even see what there is in there, you hear a lot of activity down here. So you hear people, you presume people, moving around. There's work going on here, you think. There's a lot of banging and clattering. There's the odd scream every so often. There's a hissing sound, maybe steam or something similar.
What kind of language do we hear screaming and shouting?
Make me a listen roll. Because it's quite sort of drowned out by everything else.
Failed miserably.
Yeah, it's too tricky to hear. You can hear a bit of like a gurgling sort of noise every so often. Like a...
Amazing.
Thank you so much. But yeah, the hissing sound is just too loud when it happens to hear exactly what language the shouting is in. Do you carry on down?
Carry on down, but more stealthily now.
Oh, now we are going stealthily. Amazing.
Yes, because stealthy going up here would have led to a lot more people getting nailed with those clubs.
Or maybe those things not seeing us, so avoiding the conflict in the first place.
They had already seen us, you idiot.
And Francoise?
Okay.
Is that you?
That's you?
Right, I'm gonna get this open on my handout because this is proving a problem. Okay, then. In that case,
I'll say one thing, Becky. You created an indelible character.
I do miss her, actually.
Even now, we still remember her.
Okay, in that case, yes. Give me stealth rolls, please.
Really didn't want to because I'm crap.
Oh, I actually failed.
It's a 6.
Okay.
I am going to spend 17 points of luck.
There's no point. I failed, so they're going to hear us anyway.
Oh well.
Well, they're going to hear you.
Mm.
Doesn't mean they hear everyone else.
I failed by 15 points, and I've only got 23 luck. So
No, I'm not going to spend them.
Okay. So,
I failed as well.
Liu, almost instinctively, given your experience, as the cavern starts opening up into this chamber, yeah, you can see this sort of brightish orange light coming from, you think, the middle, but you want to get out of sight. So you almost immediately see a load of crates to your left. You dive towards them and go behind there. Whereas the others, I'll say that you're a bit too distracted with everything that's going on.
we dive to the right and then realise we're casting great big shadows across the cavern.
Well, yes, actually, that's a very good point. You would be casting shadows. So, yeah.
It's using your video game lighting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow,
Wow, those shadows are low quality.
Okay.
They are direct
Hey,
sound, though.
there's 1,000 of them.
My God, they're pixelated.
Okay. So, as you enter and Liu just kind of dives out of sight for some reason, but you're too taken in by this orange light. You can see silhouettes of, you think...
Oh, he's frozen.
He's frozen.
He
You
did.
can see silhouettes. That is a dramatic
Are you still here?
face.
We're all still. Yeah,
you are,
you
you're
froze.
just
You're
settling in.
back.
You
Yeah.
froze at the word you see silhouettes.
And boof, you went.
It didn't even say it disconnected, so I have no idea what's going on tonight with this. Seriously. Yes, so you do see silhouettes of, you think, humanoids or something of that nature running around. They are going to a space on the left side, not where Liu is, fortunately, but further into the cave. Maybe like a pool or something, and they're scooping something up. They're taking it over somewhere else. There's something barking these gurgling orders at them. But just in the light, you realize that they are not fully human at all. They're similar to what you saw up top. Some of them, others you think are humans, but they've got this strange goo that's covering most of their faces, and they're moving around, possibly against their will.
Can
Yeah.
we see? You said that they seem to be going to some sort of pool and taking something, and can we see where they're going to with whatever they're taking from the pool?
Well, just wait a sec.
I'm
there's too many
excited.
things.
I want to know.
I know
No,
there's too many
quick,
things distracting
the
you.
description some more and demand specific details before we've had the basic layout.
Yes.
Exactly. They're taking them to various places rather than just one. But again, the light is quite gleaming and bright. There is one other creature in here, certainly in the vicinity, that you can see, which is bigger. Looks a bit like the other fish-like creatures, but this thing, it has these huge, sharp teeth, almost like an anaconda fish. And it's towering over the others, and that's the thing that's pointing, ushering, almost like directing traffic.
Like a what?
But-
Sorry, an anaconda fish.
Yes, an anaconda fish.
Anaconda's
It's the
snake.
big thing with the sharp teeth.
Angelfish.
Anglerfish.
Anglerfish.
Yes, anglerfish,
Okay.
not anaconda. My fish knowledge is basic.
I'm gonna say anaconda's a big snake.
Snake.
Oh!
Yeah.
That's
definitely a
why
snake.
there was some confusion amongst your
Okay.
players.
No, it's fine. It's
What
fine.
kind of
Okay,
fish
Becky.
is that?
If you go to a fish restaurant, Becky, you're ordering.
She doesn't like fish. That's why my knowledge is so basic. But anyway, the point is, all this hustle and bustle is completely overshadowed by this towering object in the center of the cavern, which you think is kind of above or suspended above this orange glow in some way. The orange glow you think is magma or maybe something similar to that. But again, it's giving off this very bright orange glow. It's in the ground. And suspended on these girders, going up about 75 feet in the air, is this huge silver bullet.
Did we find the flying silver thing?
I think we just did.
And because the fact you two failed your stealth rolls, you are fairly quickly noticed by at least a couple of the more lucid people, shall we say, in this area.
reach
There's no sign of
down
hope yet.
Inside my blouse and pull out a feathered whistle.
Okay, and we're going to leave the carnage until next week.
I have to hold the chase until next week.
Yes.
Which will be extremely funny because you're running a game on Saturday.
Uh-huh.
Wow. I think carnage is a good description. It's what it's going to be as well.
Yeah. Oh my god, that's going to be very, very nasty.
So it's next Saturday.
Which way is this bullet thing pointing?
Upwards.
Okay.
Yeah. I have a cunning plan and it's definitely not going to work.
Excellent.
Sounds amazing.
I mean, bear in mind your knowledge of large bullets is quite limited in the 1920s.
Mm-hmm. I still
But
have a
I know
cunning
what you're
plan.
thinking.
Do you?
Yes.
Mm.
I'm sure you don't.
Maybe not.
You
A
might do.
cunning plan.
You, after all.
Hmm. I have, yes, definitely a cunning plan. It's going to cost me some sanity. That is definitely true.
Leave and wait for the Japanese to turn up.
Yep. No, it's not that. Oh, we'll worry about that next week.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for watching, Fugue. Although I disapprove of the fact that, from what I can see from your chat messages, I think Pranit was your favourite character and not Francoise. That just
Yeah, Fuke was so sad when Pranit died.
it just hurts me inside.
In answer to your question, Duke, what indelible means is something that's
A marker pen.
well, it's something. It's something that leaves that leaves an impression. It leaves a mark that cannot be removed.
Oh, indelible. All right.
Indelible.
Indelible.
But, yeah.
Hmm.
Which
Oh,
is
yeah.
Like a
how I-
Dell
which
computer.
which is-
Indelible.
which is how I describe.
Oh no, Becky, what happened to you?
What? I was
Which is
Ronnie is
explaining
the
how to say
influencer.
the word.
No, yeah, I was reading
I
what.
wasn't punning. I was saying how to say the word because there was confusion. It was, I mean, if you want to
Indelible.
pun with indelible, I mean, good fucking luck. How many marker pen jokes do you know?
Don't encourage him.
That was.
Even Ronnie's just looking at the wall going, I've got nothing. I mean, come on, marker pens. Who the fuck has jokes about marker pens?
He's thinking of one.
There isn't
Well,
one.
I'm trying.
Okay,
I'm
let's go to
trying.
broadcast. All right, thank you very much for watching. We will see you on Saturday for more AFA shenanigans. Oh, that's really sweet. Well, maybe
Aww.
you can latch onto another character when they have.
You need
Epic
to go back
moments.
and watch the start of the campaign for the best character of all. Yeah, Pranit's just in her shadow still.
Exactly. I mean, Winston was amazing.
I think Becky wants a smoke, or else she'll continue to roast us all. Let's go. Bye bye. See you
Good night,
Saturday.
y'all.
No.
Bye bye.
Bye.